The Hallmark Channel is keeping the studio system's spirit alive, wrapped in a bunch of tinsel and placed under a tree or over a gazebo. When the holidays begin, in October, of course, Tyler Hynes, Andrew Walker, and Paul Campbell re-emerge as the mainstays of a growing stable of actors who call the network an indefinite home. Our faces have become synonymous with the idea of Christmas, Campbell says. If you want that feeling, and if you want us, you have to go to Hallmark. Hynes, Walker, and Campbell have been working on a near-exclusive basis with Hallmark for a combined quarter-century, and their friendship culminated in starring together in the channel's tentpole 2022 film, Three Wise Men and a Baby. Despite becoming most pronounced during the holiday season, the network heavily promotes them, and other male leads, as hunks of Hallmark. Their work spans genres and equinox, providing a rare type of stability that's been phased out at Hollywood studios over the years. As an actor, Walker says, "I could not have any better case scenario. But these actors' affinity for the channel goes deeper than the promise of a steady paycheck." Talking with the trio on a recent morning near Central Park, all of them nodded to a sense of familiarity as central to the success of these films, which turn on a well-established formula of optimism and comfort. But just like people returning to their small towns for the holidays, that formula is capable of change and nuance, and Hynes, Walker, and Campbell have an insider's perspective on what's changed at the network over the years, as well as what other evolutions might lie ahead. They also hope to do a spiritual sequel to Three Wise Men and a Baby, with 3 or 4 ideas currently in the mix based on classic trios. But they're in no rush. They're in it for the long haul. Mine was a little bit of a roundabout. I had started a juice company with my wife. I was going to take 6 months off acting and start the business, and about a year and a half later, I was underwater. We were trying to figure out how to get our lives back. I had become very resentful toward my business because it had taken me away from my acting. I thought, oh yeah, I'll take some time off. I do a lot of work for ABC and whatnot. I'll get it back in no time. I was wrong. But out of the blue, I got a call from my manager, and he said, "Hey, you got an offer to do a Hallmark movie. They want you to come up to Vancouver and shoot it." And I was like, a Hallmark movie? Don't they make greeting cards? I read the script, and it was cute. So I jumped on an airplane and did my first movie and had a great time. The director was Gary Yates, who? Paul Campbell. Gary is universally beloved, by the way. Ayo, we've all done movies with him. It's almost a rite of passage. Tyler Hynes. I recently watched the Friends reunion, and the way they talk about James Burrows isn't a bad comparison to Gary Yates. PC. He creates a lot of Hallmark stars. Ayo. But I did that movie, A Bride for Christmas, and it snowballed. Walker's recent Hallmark films include A Safari Romance, A Maple Valley Christmas, and the Curious Caterer series. From there, I didn't know the world I was entering into. PC. I've been living down in Los Angeles for about 8 years, and in 2012, I moved back home to Vancouver. I wish I could say it wasn't because I was broke, but I had gone broke living in LA despite a good role in Battlestar Galactica. I got an audition for a Hallmark movie. I never auditioned for one before because my representation unequivocally said from day one, "You're not going to do Hallmark movies." So my agent in Vancouver was going to pass on it. But I said, "Let me read it at least, I'm broke, come on." So I read it and was like, this is one of the most fun scripts I've ever read. Why would I not want to do this? That was Winter Wonderland in 2013. After that, I said, I'll do as many a sampler of Campbell's Hallmark projects. Magic and Mistletoe, Wedding Every Weekend, and The Last Bridesmaid. As the channel throws out. Day. I've been doing this for about 5 years now. I'd gotten a call a few days before a film was going to start shooting, called It's Christmas Eve. As far as I know, Leanne Rimes, for whatever reason, recommended me as her co-star. I don't know how I ended up on that list or why. I don't think Hallmark would have ever been stoked to hire me. Andrew Walker never acted alongside Candace Cameron Bure in a Hallmark movie. But he has thoughts on her controversial exit from the network. I think it was just a good excuse to cover up an opportunity she had somewhere else, Walker told Vulture in an interview published on Tuesday, December 19. Whether she thought she had it less at Hallmark because she's an executive now over at Great American Family, I don't know. That's the way I took it. Walker's longtime friend and fellow Three Wise Men and a Baby co-star Tyler Hynes added his 2 cents about the topic, telling the outlet, "I can't imagine how complicated or nuanced her relationship was or wasn't. All I know is, for us, it's very simple why we're here. We know what we're doing. I don't want to speak for you guys, but I certainly know why I'm here." Walker chimed back in, saying that was the intention from the beginning. "We want to see the same things you're talking about, diversity of storytelling, because things have to evolve." Cameron Bure raised eyebrows in April 2022 when she announced her departure from Hallmark after 13 years. She revealed at the time that she was moving to Great American Media, which former Hallmark CEO Bill Abbott created, and would have a more active role at the company and help oversee and curate programming for the networks as a whole. While the move was surprising to fans, Cameron Bure made even more waves in November 2022 when she declared Hallmark has become basically a completely different network due to leadership changes. "I think that Great American Family will keep traditional marriage at the core," she told WSJ Magazine at the time, referring to Great American Media's main channel and seemingly commenting on Hallmark's same-sex storylines. Cameron Bure later clarified via social media that she would never intentionally want to offend or hurt anyone, and insisted she has great love and affection for all people. While Walker and his Three Wise Men co-stars Hynes and Paul Campbell didn't pretend to know Cameron Bure's intentions with her statements, they stood by Hallmark and its leadership. Hallmark has created a culture that's a trickle-down effect from the top. You get somebody like Lisa Hamilton at the top, who replaced Bill Abbott, who's now making these choices that are affecting the network, Walker explained on Tuesday. The formula is pretty sound. I don't think we need to sit here and go, oh, one network is better than the next. Walker noted that even with some Hallmark stars moving exclusively to Great American Family, he doesn't see it as competition. "I don't know how our style gets duplicated somewhere else in quite the same way. It's like comparing apples to oranges," he said. Campbell agreed, adding, "I think the word competition implies there are viewers going elsewhere because somebody else is doing what Hallmark is doing. If you look at the numbers this season, viewership is up, so it's a big playground. There's a lot of space for people to produce and tell similar stories, but I don't think there's competition. Hallmark is the only place that does specifically what Hallmark does." Walker previously told Us Weekly in February that he is honored to be a part of the Hallmark family. "I think that's something that Hallmark has really put forward, is that they want to tell real stories about real people with that same, heart and warmth and familiarity that you get in a Hallmark movie," he gushed. "I think that's the beauty of working for this network. It's just incredible what they've done so far." Hynes echoed Walker's sentiments, exclusively telling Us in March, "Everybody is absolutely lovely, and it seems like comparatively perhaps to other places, I think it's as close as you can come to feeling like a family that is supportive."